It's harried holidays here at the Great Northern Sexcast. Colleen, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually breathing, which is
That's
excellent.
big.
Because if anyone's been listening to this, and people have, because I can see the counts.
Yeah.
They know that me and breathing sometimes don't get along.
That's true.
And so it's so nice to actually, even though things are going insane with broken computers and broken electrical boxes and broken registers and trying to reset passwords. I mean, this is just the stuff of business.
Yeah.
This is not the stuff of dildos. The stuff of dildos is more fun.
Yeah, dildos.
Yes.
I'm all about dildos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has been a thing, and then there's just the regular, and anyone who's any sort of retail or seasonal business, that just the pure terror of will people shop at your stores. I mean, they always have. They have been doing it for almost 40 years, but it doesn't change the fact
that you're nervous.
That I freak out over every big sales period that we should have.
For sure.
It's just how that works.
Yes. Well, we it's been crazy, and I'm sure everybody's crazy this week because it's all the scrambling, and I'm not usually a plan ahead kind of person, so this is something typical. But poor Dr. Markey was supposed to be here this week, and she got sick unexpectedly, but she will be here next week.
Yep, we've got the flurry of emails yesterday in between everything. I had to text Kelly today going,
yeah.
Are we doing a podcast? I have completely and utterly lost track.
Well, because some of the communications were on email and some of them were on text. And I got so tickled when I saw that, Colleen, because I'm like, yeah, I can see how this would be confusing.
I'm like looking, I'm like, But, and then last night, though, and I hope people are taking time. I know they're, going crazy. But I took a few minutes for me and went and had dinner with my high school friends for another friend's birthday. And it was just a short amount of time. But if you can get the five of us together, it is like that old commercial of Herding Kittens.
Oh, isn't that fun?
Trying to get the five of us together. And it was just a couple of hours.
Yep.
But it was lovely. I mean, I have known Linda since 9th grade. Thank you, Mrs. Deephaven, for sitting us alphabetically. And we have
Deephaven was her name.
Miss Deephaven was.
Oh my God, we have a Deephaven here in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember she had when she was pregnant. that was when the pregnancy clothes, were like people assumed you were like 5 when you got pregnant, and there was like apple ducks on it.
Oh
and
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
For some reason, I just remember this one apple duck shirt. It made an impression. I mean, it's 14 at the time, so like 38 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember this shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that shift into like actual clothing for pregnant people was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, I've never had to wear any of it, not going to.
Me neither.
Although I have to admit, I have bought a couple pregnancy related tunic tops at Target. I mean, they're comfy, and I got big ass boobs, so sometimes it's all good.
Well, sorry, Kelly is still having the remnants of the cough, but so first up on the news this week, because there's as usual, this area of the world is never, or society or people or whatever, never disappoints. So who's sexier, right, in the world? Okay. Now, there's 7,000 languages on the planet Earth, which I did not realize there were that many. 7,000.
And honestly, we're losing some every year.
Sure.
People, yeah.
Yep, they're going the way of the dodo.
Yep.
And, but, what's the most attractive to women and men? So I thought this was cool.
Okay.
All right, so here it is. The gals, ladies of the world, can't resist a British accent on a guy. It wins.
Well, I mean, honestly, they, 150 years ago, they controlled a big chunk of the world.
Yeah. And
so we got over there. And so the socialization, but, yeah, I mean, honestly, okay, I have to admit.
Anything you say sounds better with a British accent. Come on.
Oh, it really does. And then if you put a little Scottish brogue in there.
Well, that's number 2.
Number 2, okay.
Now, this is women speaking about men. The men have a whole different take on this.
Because I'm telling you, I mean, there isn't, honestly, is there anyone sexier than Sean Connery? And I don't care how old he gets.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. So, Scottish is second
for
men. Sexy Spanish speakers came back at 3. Aussies, Australia, number 4. And number 5, the U.S. Southern drawl.
The stereotype of the the
Southern
beer
gentleman.
is in the big pickup truck,
Yep.
and the plaid shirt and the possibly even out there with your shirt off doing some outdoor work.
See, and I think of Rhett Butler. Like, I'm not thinking of
I'm gonna go for the sweatier guy.
Okay.
I mean, mind you, Sean Connery is sort of, you got 007, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
But some of the other stuff he's done, I'm gonna go for the sweatier versions of all this.
So, for the women, guys being, commenting on women, Colombian women, number 1, 2, Australia, 3, the romantic French tones, and 4, South American.
So you're talking about, wait a minute, what was, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, Colombian, I actually missed number 1, Israeli women. Number 2 was Colombia, 3 Australian accent, 4 French accent, 5 South American for men.
So there's something, Colombia's in South America.
I know.
So there must be a particular dialect that's different than, because
they're just really hot.
Yeah, and a big chunk of South America is going to be Portuguese. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. But this is, in the same related polls and studies, 90,000 singles rated American women the sexiest in the world. And Armenian beauties were number 2. Now is where I have to hold my nose, and the conjecture is that Kim Kardashian had something to do with that.
I was about to
think I just threw up in my mouth.
Well, honestly, we were sitting around, and my daughter was doing homework and had some old versions of Keeping Up with the Kardashians on, because it honestly is hilarious. If you don't, you just throw in like a whole, mine of salt, not even a grain of salt, and you're just like, oh, and I'm like, they're not bad looking women. I don't understand how they wear those heels. Oh my God!
But I have never seen it.
It is hilarious because they are. They do stuff on the side. They jack it up for the show. It's not too bad, but I'm just like, do they actually have any idea about what it's like to actually have to think about paying a bill? And then when you think about that, this whole thing started. I'm like, what did they actually do? It all started with a P-tape, and then they figured out what was going on, and now they got makeup and clothing, and they model, and they worked for it. I love their business acumen. I have no problem with that. But I'm just like, oh my God.
I know. I almost hated giving the cred. This is interesting. This particular physical feature makes a guy more attractive to women. Now, there's a caveat. It has to do with a one-night stand. So guys seem more desirable for a one-nighter if they have a scar on their face.
Honestly, I was thinking chin cleft, little chin dimple.
Those are good. Yep, this was according to a psychologist from Basel University in Switzerland, and he did research into scars and attractiveness, and he found that scarring only boosts attractiveness if the relationship is short-lived.
Because if it's short-lived, it's the only thing you can see right away, right?
Yeah, it signifies strength or bravery, or a risk taker is what women think, and maybe masculinity sort of thing, and also the story behind the scar is like an icebreaker. He actually put this in his report.
Oh.
Yeah. But
my brother had a couple scars.
Did he?
Yeah, he played hockey, and then he ran into a doorpost once when he was playing chicken with a teacher or something like that when he was a kid. It was really sort of fun. The teacher was just, this is like an elementary school. And the teacher was freaking out, and all my dad said, well, you should have lifted up his head and looked where he was going.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily...
Nowadays, parent probably isn't going to say that, but, back in the 70s, you should have looked where he was going.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, today we would write a letter and sue for the bad placement of the bar. So women, by the way, the same researchers said that women with scars are as attractive as those without. So the guys did not, which kind of surprised me.
So in other words, my left ankle is sexier than my right ankle?
No, it is as sexy.
As sexy, okay.
No less sexy.
No less sexy, okay.
Okay. So there's this fashion label, Village Vanguard, and they're kind of, known for their crazy stuff. And they sold out a backless jumper that exposes side boob and butt crack.
So in other words, you can pretend like you're walking down the red carpet at any time you want. Because that's where all the side boob and butt crack is. It's always at movie premieres and shit like that. Have you ever noticed?
Oh,
much side boob.
Yeah, a lot of side boob. And so these are selling for $35 US. And it's Village Vanguard. You can look them up. But, yeah.
Honestly, I don't...
Butt cleavage.
The butt cleavage doesn't do anything for me. I mean, but I have to admit, side boob can be a little sexy if it's done right.
If it's not escaping and oozing out of something.
Yeah.
If it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you might have been familiar with this product. Have you ever heard of the Wobbling Willy?
So the little hoppy long... Well, there's a whole bunch of little novelties used to be. There used to be like a Weeble thing that didn't fall down, and there was a little hoppy pecker, but most of the shit was bought for office parties years ago. Nobody does that crap anymore.
Oh, hell no. More on that later in the show.
Yeah. So there's no more, we just, like I said, if you're going to spend your hard-earned money on something, you want it to last a bit. And, although I have to admit, just for entertainment value every now and then, I mean, honestly, if I had all the money in the world, we would probably still sell hoppy peckers just for nostalgia.
Hoppy peckers are hysterical, but that's not what this is, actually.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new sex toy that can be customized with a 3D model of your partner's face. So, a fully functional dildo with a twist. That's the tagline.
No, I'm sorry. That is one of the least sexiest things I can think of. That's me. I mean, there are 7 billion other people on the planet who might find it sexy or erotic or, go for the, get all moist panty on folks, but that is not going to do it for me.
Yeah. So you have to just send a photo, and it says on the website, down to the basics, we sculpt the head out of clay to the likeness of the photo that you send. So there you go. And then it gets assembled along with the Wobbling Willy silicone body. So if I'm the loved one, I don't know if I want to go there. Like, yeah, there you go.
We got a bunch of stuff in for the holidays and stuff like that. But no, we do not have that option. I was just shown Tara just showed me a sheet today from a new line. I think it's coming out of Blush, and it's multicolored. Probably silicone. I didn't read close enough. Silicone dildos that should be coming in January, so they'll be ready, like striped, like layered and stuff like that. They were beautiful.
Really neat looking.
Yeah, really nice looking. So I expect those to be in for Valentine's. But then again, we got a whole line of another set of toys, a whole new bunch of dildos, and I was looking at, and I'm like. And so we get them, and I I pick them up and I squeeze them, and I go, "This is nice. This feels good." Because you don't want to pick up a dildo and have it feel too squishy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was going through there, so there's some really nice stuff in there. Cool. And there's we're going to be bringing stuff out all weekend and all that sort of stuff. Because it's almost Christmas.
I know. I can't believe it. 4 days.
Yeah, we no longer have the big red glitter dick, though. That doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that's too bad.
That was my favorite thing. Years ago, and it's the only time I ever got a phone call about one of my ads. I may have mentioned this before, I'm not sure.
Well, it's time to do it again because I forgot.
We had we used to, when people used to actually advertise in print, we would advertise, was it the Reader or the Pages? I don't remember which one it was because I think it was when there were still 2 papers in town. And I said, and we were teasing, and we got this big red glitter dick, and it was a big dick. It was like forearm size glitter, that stuff. And I'm like, hell, nothing says Christmas like a big red glitter dick. And I paused for a moment, and I'm like, I wonder if I could put that in an ad. So I had an ad designed, and I sent it over there, and they ran it, and I actually had someone track down the office phone number and say they have never, just random person looking through the paper, that they have never laughed harder in their damn life.
Oh, God, I was afraid this story was going to take a different twist.
Nope. They had just, I'm like, I have done a zillion advertising. Just random person was going through, I'm pretty sure, I don't know.
And they took the time.
They took the time to figure out how to get a hold of me and say that was the funniest damn thing that ever. And they ran it, and nobody gave a crap. But,
was this something that you could buy? Or?
Yeah, this is something you could buy, yeah.
Okay.
We had the story, and it was just, but it wasn't silicone, and they don't make a lot of non-silicone and it was older latex type stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it was, it was a big red glitter dick.
Perfect.
And it was like,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, big red glitter dick.
Oh, God. Speaking of that, holiday parties. We've got a couple holiday party stories, but this is the first one. Let's start with the lighter fare and say that here's the way to seduce that special someone. So there's six ways to do it. I think these are funny. I love.
So these are Christmas party or holiday party specific.
Holiday parties.
Okay.
Which actually, party's a party.
Yeah.
Add people that are on the hunt and alcohol. It's
the only thing that's the difference is there might be apple cider.
Yeah.
Or peppermint schnapps in your cocoa.
Yes. So.
Oh God, that sounds good.
Oh, it does actually. If you fancy somebody, you're supposed to, number one, mirror their body language. So you're mirroring not just, the mood and everything else. And that's supposed to be, a perfect sociological disarmor for people. So that's the first thing.
My body language is always stay in the corner with my arms crossed. Yeah, I didn't do very well when I was young.
Well, then this is for you, Colleen. This is a primer
I don't
for
need
you.
it, but I was like, oh my God. I would just send out my friends that had bigger boobs and blonder hair, and they would just bring people back to the table. It was great.
Number two,
Okay.
don't look away if you're talking to this person that you think is attractive.
Oh, yeah.
And someone else joins the conversation. Instead, you are supposed to lock eyes with the person you like and keep them there, even when they've finished talking or someone else starts. What do you think of that?
I suppose so. No, don't go. No, you have to be a really good conversationalist for that. I'm not sure it's good. I guess ask another question.
Yeah, there you go. This one's sexist. Lend her your coat or sweater. Chivalry, I guess.
Well, generally, women have fewer clothes on than men. And guys are usually sweating to death in offices, and women are usually freezing.
Yep.
So.
Seduce through subconscious teases.
Okay.
So, just kind of make, cup your arm and, pose yourself. That's what they're talking about.
The hair flip.
Yep.
I mean, I actually watched where was I? Out to dinner doing something, and I looked over and I saw a group of 20-something gals, and one of them did the hair flip. And I'm like, oh my God, people still do that?
There it is. I think that's pretty timeless, Colleen.
Yep. But I just, ever since I got rid of my hair, like 20 years ago, there is no hair flippy anymore.
Oh, Number 5, I think, is a pretty good one. Try putting something in your mouth. A straw. The end of your glasses. And if you're brave, your finger. What do you think?
God, that sounds like something that would be in that would be in a bad movie. That would be in like in a bachelor party movie or something like that, or what's her name? Jennifer. She's big and blonde and always plays really funny. She's a lot of I'm thinking of her name later, but she did the bend and flip in the the older woman. I think her first name is Jennifer.
No, you're thinking of oh God, yes, she's been in she was in the Legally Blonde movies. She played the nail lady. And I can see her face, and I cannot think of her name. I know exactly who you're talking about. She is hysterical. This last one is kind of funny. They want you to wear layers of cotton clothing because cotton breathes better and won't get stinky, theoretically. So you can peel off the minute you feel warm. Clothing traps pheromones, and taking them off wafts the pheromones.
In other words, take the damn thing off and swing it above your
I know. Woo! Pheromones! Yeah.
Well, we got in some pheromone kits.
You did?
Yes, they're really... I think they're on the line now at myfantasygifts.com. I think Sarah's got them on. And what it is, it's like a perfume and a body stuff, and it's not male, it's not female, it's a really nice scent. And once again, if you've been listening for like 3 years, you know that me and my nose do not get along with most scents. True. And I love this smell.
Really?
And it's I have to admit, the packaging is very feminine, but the scent, I think, is sort of all-encompassing. I think I would do it. So they're out, I don't know if they're out at all the stores, but I'm pretty sure they're online. I saw them in Sarah's office.
Do you know what they're called?
To put them on. You know what? I'll make sure that we put a link underneath. Yeah, that I put a link on it. But it was really nice, because if I can walk past something and not have it make me leave fast, then I know that it's a really fresh, neutral scent. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. So just let me ask you something. does it seem terribly racy to you for a woman to be dancing around in basically underwear eating a banana in a music video? Does that seem particularly outrageous to you?
If it was in 1981, but in almost 2018, it could be a Barney video for Pete's sake.
Well, the girl who did it lives in Egypt, and she has been summoned to jail. She got arrested for this.
Well, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so a couple belly dancers also on that same vein got 6 months each in prison for spreading provocative publicity. And the singer's name is Shaima.
That's a national dance. Obviously, there's, they're obviously censoring them for something else other than that. And that's what they went for. I mean, it's not the most open society over there right now.
No, I mean, I just think that's...
And I have friends that have traveled to Egypt to take classes and do things, and it's a beautiful, beautiful dance. And, if you're going to put that much time in it, I'm not going to, just... And then they see, the differences and just going through there. It's not like they're wearing the cabaret costumes that have become, popular in the U.S. Most of them are actually fairly well covered. But, oh my God, I mean, the amount of work. I mean, same thing with hula or any of that stuff. I'm like, I don't move that way. I don't consider myself an idiot on the dance floor or anything like that. But I don't have the minute moves that these folks that have been practicing since they were kids do.
Oh, well, and it's incredibly... But on the same vein, I can't imagine that this sort of thing helps tourism, because I would sit there and say, I'm not going to that part of the world because God knows what I would inadvertently do that could land me in jail.
Yeah.
I
have no interest. I mean, some people say go be a positive influence, but I'm like, I can't give my hotel taxes to a place that demeans women like that.
Right.
And I do say that, and if your religion says that a woman is less, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you.
Right.
And not that they do with this and stuff like that, and I get it, but I was like, oh, that's frustrating. I mean, hell, there are states in the U.S. that I don't tend to, that I won't be traveling at, because I'm like...
Oh, more on that. Mm-hmm. More on that. Just really quick, if you're feeling festive with your guy, there's 3 ideas to spice up your sex life, kind of with a holiday twist.
Okay.
Number 1, give each other no hands massages. So
Booby massage.
Use breasts, use your upper body. Like, that sounds like fun. Mm-hmm. Number 2, challenge each other to, well, this one says a sexy game of Scrabble, but I would think any kind of naked board games could be entertaining.
Yeah, if you're nude and playing a game... I mean, that's.
I think that's a winner.
I mean, go fish. Nude.
It could be funny naked.
It would be hilarious.
I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. Last one. Grab the bottle of Christmas bubbly and drink it together in all sorts of different ways. Let's just put it that way. What do you think? You're not a champagne person. I am.
No, I am not. I do not like to. I like my food with my food and my sex with my sex. Okay. And it's not a thing that I like to combine.
I would put this in this side category. This is your alcohol with your sex.
Yeah, alcohol with your sex. Yes. I mean, yeah. I get that, but I just it seems like, well, if it's cheap champagne, it's going to taste bad. If it's good champagne, why do you want to
waste it?
If it's like that, so I'm like,
There's a lot of really good mid-range champagne.
Mid-range, yeah.
I'm just saying.
If I didn't puff up and stop breathing, if I drank the shit, then, maybe
you'd consider it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have talked about this place before, but we're going to do it again, because if somebody has the infamous penis-themed park in South Korea.
I love, you know what, I looked at
those
the pictures. Yes, I looked at them, and I looked at several different things, and I'm just like, we need a penis park. It was just, because I'm like, and it's just got all families lined up in front for a big old picture. It's just, like they're going down to the Walker Sculpture Garden. Right. It is hilarious.
It's hysterical. Mm-hmm. And this is, if you haven't heard us talk about this, I'm going to try not to butcher this, but it looks like Haesindang Park, and it's in the coastal village of Sinam, South Korea. Mm-hmm. Almost 300 erect phallic statues are all dedicated to the memory of a virgin bride-to-be who was left on a rock when he went off to work, and a storm came in and she drowned, so she's bitter. So they built the penises to appease her spirit because it keeps her happy, which keeps me happy. But anyway.
I think that is one of the most most brilliant marketing schemes to get people to come visit your village ever.
What, we had a pissed off virgin that needs penises to keep her happy? Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, that's almost as good as what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, that is an outstanding... How do you, I mean, Hopkins has a big giant raspberry now. You can go up to Baudette and see a really large concrete walleye. You've got the Viking in Alexandria. I don't know why am I blanking on his name. You got the Paul Bunyan's all over. But I'm serious. I would drive my ass over to see the penis park.
Oh, God. I might fly, honestly. Yeah. And so if you haven't seen this, we will have links to this, and you can see things like, a 10-foot tall member carved out of wood. There are little concrete penis stools that you can sit on. I mean, just a ton of things. They also have preserved real mammal genitalia from whales, bears, cats, even mice. And they have a gift shop.
Hopefully it's better than the penis gift shop in wherever it was in Iceland, because a friend went to that. She said it.
Oh, yeah.
That, I mean, it was interesting, but, knowing me, it's nothing she hasn't seen me run across before, especially in the gift shop. She was really expecting a much better gift shop.
Well, this one sells everything from penis-shaped penne pasta to knitted willy warmers. Could be good. I wonder if they have a website. So anyway, I think that's really great. They have over 12,000 visitors a year, 60% of them female, and it also features breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape.
A beach and penises. Sounds good to me.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't really go wrong. Okay, here's one of Kelly's ICB stories. I call bullshit.
Okay.
Long and short of it, good news, ladies. Sex with a small penis can give you more pleasure. And at the end of the day, there's this Bay Area sex therapist named Elizabeth McGrath who says basically you'll have more fun because you'll shift away from penetrative sex to other areas of pleasure. Whatever. Yeah, okay, fine, but you can still do that with somebody that's got a nice schlong too.
No, that's one thing is like it says the headline here is how sex with small penis can actually give you more pleasure. Well, you're not actually having sex with the small penis.
Exactly.
So the headline.
See. Now this one I like. I think this one's really good. How to tell if somebody finds you attractive using this one trick.
Well, I would certainly need this because I was, like I mentioned earlier, completely and utterly clueless.
Okay.
As probably still am, but I don't need to have clues anymore.
So all you have to do is try to make the person laugh, and if they laugh back, you're in with a chance. So what they're saying is that if somebody is interested in you, they're more likely to find you funny and laugh at your jokes, even if they're not that good. And they said, but if they don't find you attractive, they won't crack a smile at anything you say, even if it is actually objectively pretty funny.
So, millennia of socialization has said, don't show any interest, don't show any interest, don't show any interest.
Well, yeah, but if you crack them up, there's a good chance. And this was literally tested by psychologists, and they published about this in the Personality and Social Psych Bulletin Journal. And then there was another study back in 2009 where both men and women found having a poor sense of humor equally unattractive.
Oh, yeah. Someone who does not have a sense... I don't... There's something very, very wrong with someone who doesn't have a sense of humor.
Yep.
Or a sense of humor that includes being mean. But, if they consider that, yeah. No, there's that's...
Yeah, not good. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, going back to... this isn't totally, but it's kind of made a comment you made earlier made me think of this story. Do you remember the Kentucky County clerk who made headlines and went to jail for 5 days because she wouldn't issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples because she claimed it violated her religious beliefs? Remember her?
Oh yeah, and then I think someone else did it, and then I think they changed the rules that you don't need a signature. They did everything, but I know she's been sued a few times too.
Well. She's still the clerk there, but now one of the guys that she, gave the runaround to, who did eventually get his license because of what you said, that the clerk's name was taken off of it. He's running against her.
Oh God, I hope he wins.
Well, she won her seat originally as a Democrat, and she switched to Republican. So we'll see if his name is David Ermold, and he is looking to unseat Kim Davis.
Yes, I mean, I was born in Kentucky, so it's, it was on there, so I there.
Which totally cracks me up.
Yeah.
I can't get my head really quite around that.
When I was doing all the paperwork for to adopt my daughter, and I had to get an official copy of my birth certificate. It is hilarious. It's like an 11 by 14 sheet. It's mounted. There's a seal on it. There's a big blue ribbon. I mean,
they do it up.
They do fancy ass stuff, and mind you, the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Oh, is it now?
Okay, that's what it says on there. It's fancy. Yeah, I'm looked at it as, what am I, like, Pope now? I mean, what is this? It was this man. I'm like, because I was expecting a little, like, an 8.5 by 11 sheet or a half sheet or something, and I get this big envelope in the mail, and it's all, and everything's mounted on cardboard, so the whole thing's, stiff and not bending. I'm like, what the hell is in here? And I open this up, and I go, oh, that's sort of cool.
Oh, man. And I got mine from California in a ratty little envelope, and it's the ugliest looking thing you've ever seen.
Oh, it's the coolest thing. Oh, see, it's not just your regular birth certificate. I had to, like, get the birth certificate, then get it notarized, and then, like, the Secretary of State had it, like, notarized the notary, and it's like apostilled. There's a word for it that I've never been able to pronounce.
Okay.
So it was like, but I just called it a notary of the notary. It's like all this fancy shit that I needed, and this is what had the big blue ribbon and the stamp and the fancy shit. And I was like, it was really fun. I'm like,
that's cool.
Yeah, I needed one, and then I needed it for a bunch of other stuff because I hadn't consolidated anything. But so when they called back, and I always get hey, you don't sound like you were born in Kentucky. And I'm like, no, I don't know. And then she was like, how many do you want? I said 6. I'll take 6. Just send me. We don't have to do this again. That was it. How do you eat 6? That became my standard thing. Just give me a half dozen of whatever it is I'm asking for.
That's actually really smart. One of my clients is a financial advisor. And, I mean, he always talks about that. And, like, another thing that you always want to get multiples of, this is going to Debbie Downer time now, but, like, when somebody passes away, get like, multiple copies of the death certificate for all the different things that you're going to need. So that's actually really smart. You're smart. Speaking of other downers, the Scrooges are trying to end traditional office Christmas parties and its sexual harassment fear. So HR departments are nixing these all over the country. And I just think it's funny because the guy that wrote the article about this says, well, if it wasn't for the office Christmas party, my eldest daughter would never have been born. They didn't get pregnant from that night, but they started dating. And got married and 3 years later had her, but that made me laugh. And, I mean, I get it. I mean, especially with what's going on, everybody's on high alert, and they don't want even to have the responsibility of providing alcohol. Your thoughts?
I honestly, I don't have a problem with it because the pendulum has to swing and it eventually gets back to the middle. And because people do dumb things when they're drunk.
Yeah.
And if you're at the office and you've got height and stuff like that, or they can change it. It doesn't have to be, catering a lunch, do something, have it, it doesn't need to be, this high-fueled bacchanal thing, it just, no, that was a bad idea even when nobody cared.
Yep. Yep. There is a survey that came out that is cited in this story about what people miss about Christmas or this time of year, traditions.
Snow?
Well, carol singing and kissing under mistletoe. And I'm sure you can understand companies are banning mistletoe as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but an office is where you work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, it's a different place, and then with contract people coming in and out and this and that, that's not, yeah, I mean, you can meet someone at work without having, to have a plate of stale cookies, little smoky sausages in a crock pot and some cheap ass wine.
That's funny. This last story, Colleen, I'm confused about several elements of it. Okay, so this is a guy talking about his life with a porn star girlfriend.
Okay.
His life, okay. So but here's the thing. Let me just kick it off this way. This guy, he's an event planner. His name is Mike Adkins, and he's dating Allie Hayes, and she's been in hundreds of movies apparently. But it says Mike, now she's his girlfriend, who lives in Las Vegas with his partner, met his girlfriend through a mutual friend. I'm thinking that he must mean his business partner, because all indications are is that this is one couple. It doesn't indicate polyamory.
Oh, okay.
No. But it's a really strange choice of words for the story, which dorked I had to read it 3 times to finally come to that conclusion. But we'll put it up there. You can read it for yourself. So he said, it doesn't bother me that she's with other men as far as work. And he gives several things. Like, no, I wouldn't be okay if she went out with friends and flirted and had sex that way, but it's fine.
It's her job.
Yeah. I mean, it's, and he goes into some pretty specific examples, which, okay, but then he talks about her mother telling his mom, that he was dating a porn star. And he said, I called my mom and left a message and said, hey, I've actually been dating this girl, and I've got to tell you something. She called back, and he goes, well, she's a porn star. My mom said, oh, thank God. I thought you were going to tell me she was pregnant.
She wasn't quite ready to be a grandma, huh?
No, clearly not. Clearly not.
Oh, no. My mom loves being a grandma. And she was so ready.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. But not everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my mom is such an excellent grandma.
So, I mean...
I absolutely... I'm hoping that I live long enough to be as good a grandma as my mom is. But, when you have kids later, it's something I realize I might have to give up.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of a cute article. I mean, she talks about always dating people outside of the business, and how much she loves. I mean, they seem like they have a really nice relationship.
I mean, I think that makes sense in a lot of businesses. You don't want to date inside because you just, it's all about work or talking or this or that. I mean, it'd be the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I joke, many of my friends met through the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, married, church, stuff like that. And then we joke about the ones that found someone on the outside. But it's nice. It works for some, but other folks it's just like, no, I need other conversation.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think it's interesting that she can still, I'm sure there's lots of people that find a way to balance the business just fine, and I don't have a judgment there, but like I said, that line about living with his partner, but this is his girlfriend, I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah, that's where you're like, really, are there copy editors anymore? Did someone look at this and say, what does this mean? Because, I mean, I used to, when I would go online and read the Star Tribune or the other newspapers and stuff like that I've actually, that I pay to read and stuff like that, because I'll support print and online. I realized half the time when I would make a comment, I would start with some sort of stupid editing error, and then I'd go into the comment. By the way, and then I'd make the comment. And I'm like, I just had to stop, because every single, it seemed like every single article I would see something that was just a grammatical typo that was jarring.
Yep.
Or random spelling, I'm less, issue with, or the fact that a sentence or something was so vague, I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. I'm like,
oh, I argue with my editor all the time. We had a big old, and it wasn't like a fight. I mean, I say this with a smile, but we finally agreed to change the sentence but the back and forth conversation about using at or as in this one particular instance and the cause and effect and what it was, but it was actually kind of fascinating. I thought, after we got done with that, I thought, at least I can still think and explain myself, and I think that in some ways with texting and the quick, truncated digital communication that we are losing our connection to communication. And we know that with sex, that's very important.
Yeah, because I was doing it all the time. It's just like, oh, no. One of the reasons, and everybody here knows this, you probably hear it when I think out loud.
You do.
Because I need to, it sounds good in my head, and then it comes out, and comes back into my ears, and I go,
wow.
That was, that's wrong, or dumb, or sometimes like, hey, that does sound pretty good. That's how my brain works. So I'll be in here looking at something, reading it out loud to see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And, and I don't think that when you're texting or you're doing other things that you that you take the time, that, you know, that folks take the time to do that.
Oh, we used to think, remember back in the day when it was like, well, you know, be careful because tones can be misunderstood in email. It's like, oh my God, you think? And now it's even worse.
Yeah, I have to say that to my daughter a lot. Text. I said, watch your tone, because I'll say, I'm interpreting it this way. You may or may not mean it this way.
Yep.
But this is how it's coming out. And she's like, yeah, because I'm trying to teach her.
Yep.
About tone in a digital age.
Yep. No,
she needs to know that.
I think that's super smart. So, you know, Dr. Markey will be here. Okay, It's going to be next week. And she's got a lot. She's been published a lot lately. So we're going to, digisexuality, I think, is a big area that we're going to discuss with her, which I think we ought to bring Megan in just to watch her just freak out.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Happy anniversary.
Oh, right, it's today. Oh, my God, it's this week's show. Happy anniversary.
It has been so insane that we both just
forgot our own anniversary.
3 years.
Okay, when the guys hear this, they're going to go, then don't be pissed at me when I do it to you.
Well, we knew about it last week. We talked about it. But but it's been such an insane week. This has been fun.
This has been great. 3 years,
3
Colleen.
3 years. And like I said, I can keep getting, you know, I Googled, I have to admit, I Googled our show the other day because I was curious.
Yeah.
And it shows up all over the place. In a lot of different languages, people are stealing it.
Sweet. I like it.
I was like, this is fun.
Okay. So, well, whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope it's happy. And at the very least, if you have no interest in Christmas, have a good couple of national holidays off.
Sounds good.
And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, and I'm going to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wait a minute.